clip which will tell you the story.
Pakistan says the country has launched a retaliatory military operation against India. Operation Bunyan-ul-Marsus, which translates to a firm wall of lead, is targeting military facilities in India.
We have seen this pattern of strikes in the morning, then retaliatory strikes at night. It is hard to imagine from this moment where I stand that New Delhi won't want to respond.
Pakistan's army said an eye for an eye. It claimed that the counter-offensive is ongoing and that it's targeting air bases in India from which missiles had been launched.
Just after morning fresh, there were series of loud explosions were heard across Jammu and Kashmir, including Uri, Nagrota, Jammu, Udhampur, as well as the major cities of Srinagar and Jammu.
Pakistan decided to launch a massive retaliation that included fixed-wing aircraft as well as drones and also cyber attacks.
They hit 8 air bases inside of India and Indian-controlled Kashmir. Important distinction, these are India proper as well as in Indian-controlled Kashmir. And those air bases, one of them they say that they've hit a sophisticated air defense system, and another one that they say that they've taken out a missile storage tank.
Pakistan's military says the strikes are in retaliation for what it calls Indian aggression. Islamabad claims it has hit multiple military targets near the line of control.
Pakistan responded with a relentless, a massive barrage of missiles and rockets, they say, Pakistan says, into Indian military facilities, bases inside India, air bases, weapons storage, and along that disputed line of control in Kashmir against military bases there. They say that this, from the Pakistan perspective, their communications, how they were communicating with Secretary Rubio, that really put India on the back foot. It didn't know what had happened. India, according to Pakistan, reached out to Secretary Rubio, reached out to the Saudis, reached out to the Turks, reached out to others to find a diplomatic off-ramp, got engaged after that onslaught in diplomacy, but telling the mediators that they were going to go on a pause on the Indian side.
घबराहट एक तो लोगों की नजर आ रही है क्योंकि तमाम एयरबेस ध्वस्त होते हुए नजर आ रहे हैं, आग के गोले में बदले हुए नजर आ रहे हैं। सबसे ज्यादा जो चर्चा है वो ये कि जब आप अपने एयरबेस को नहीं बचा सकते तो जनता को क्या बचाएंगे।
बड़ी खबर निकल के सामने आ रही है, पठानकोट एयरबेस ते हमला होया है। जी हां दादी के पठानकोट एयरबेस ते हमला होया, दूसरे पासे जम्मू एयरबेस ते हमला होया।
ये पाकिस्तान की साइड से है, देखिएगा। अब हमें आवाज से ही पता लग जाता है, जो सीटी बजाता हुआ तेजी से आता है और हमारे करीब जोरदार आवाज के साथ फटता है, वो पाकिस्तान की तरफ से फेंका गया, पुंछ पर फेंका गया।
देखिए उन्होंने जो किया है पठानकोट, पठान हमारा आगे जिसको हम कहें एडवांस एयरबेस है, बहुत है। उन्होंने उधमपुर में किया है, ये किया है श्रीनगर के पास में किया है, अवंतीपुर में।
सिरसा को आपने बताया एयरबेस है वहां पर, उसको उसने टारगेट किया है और तो वो ड्रोन्स के साथ साथ अपनी बड़ी मिसाइल भी दाग रहा था।
पूरी तरह से धमाकों की जो आवाजें हैं वो राजौरी, पुंछ के साथ साथ जम्मू के अलग अलग इलाकों में यहाँ पर सुनाई दे रही हैं।
पाकिस्तान बिल्कुल आखिर में ये इस्तेमाल करेगा और पाकिस्तान को शुरू में ही इस्तेमाल कर रहा है।
और भी बहुत सारे मिसाइलों का जखीरा है और इससे भी ज्यादा कारगर मिसाइल है।
The attacks have been coming in from the Pakistani forces. We saw how they lit up the entire border area all the way from the north in Kupwara, in Uri, where the ceasefire violations were taking place. Then we saw the drone strikes which were taking place in the Jammu area, all the way down to Bhuj. There were several attacks coming in from the Pakistan side, several drone strikes which were coming in from the Pakistan side.
So again remember and see that didn't the whole world hear and report? Because that's what we promised. Your armed forces promised and delivered that. Now I would like to draw your attention to the next clip. go to the next slide. If you remember, the armed forces of Pakistan promised you three things. We told you that we will give a befitting response to Indian aggression. We told you and we told the nation that, however, this response will be at the time, place, and method of our own choosing. And we also told the nation that when we will hit the Indians, the entire world will come to know. And we also told that you will not require the Indian media to report to you the phantom strikes that they said that Pakistan is taking place. Didn't we tell you all these three things? We told you. And we also told you that as these armed forces say, we ardently love to embrace Shahadat far more than you fear death. So, gentlemen, this is how it culminated. Now I will show you another clip which will tell you the story.
Pakistan says the country has launched a retaliatory military operation against India. Operation Bunyan ul Marsus, which translates to a firm wall of lead, is targeting military facilities in India.
We have seen this pattern of strikes in the morning, then retaliatory strikes at night. It is hard to imagine from this moment where I stand that New Delhi won't want to respond.
On any given day of the year, we maintain perpetual readiness. And what that means is that our ships and submarines, they are stocked up, all the military logistics are stocked up. And for us, the transition from peace to war is not only swift, it's almost invisible. And when this false flag thing happened in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, we immediately mobilized and we completed the operational deployments of Pakistani Navy fleet units and also the coastal command units in matter of hours. Our submarines, our ships and aircraft, they were at in their respective areas where they were supposed to be, and we were ready to thwart any aggression from the sea. And go on to the next slide. Ladies and gentlemen, maritime domain awareness, that is essentially to know what is happening in your area of interest. That is critical for the naval operations. And I'll just briefly talk about that, because to generate any response, you need to be aware of the happening in your area of responsibility. And we were maintaining 24/7 vigil at sea. And click, aage jaye. Okay. A couple of days back, there was a hype. You heard about INS Vikrant approaching Karachi. And I'll just briefly tell you that we were keeping a very close eye on the activities at sea. And this is essentially the Indian Navy surface disposition throughout these days. We had a couple of ships in this particular area. They were moving around in this area. And then there's a ship off Salala, which is operating over there. And this is the much talked about the Indian carrier. We were monitoring it right from the day one. On 30th of April, it was here. Then it moved up here. Subsequently, it moved up here. And on the night of 6th and 7th May, it was back, close to Ratnagiri, very close to Mumbai. And then on 9th May, it was here, essentially 400 nautical miles away from Pakistani coast. And again, then it retreated back close to Mumbai. So we were keeping a very close track on this particular carrier movement. And there was no cause of concern at any time. If the carrier comes closer to 400 nautical miles and even closer, that essentially simplifies that problem. So we were, the Pakistan Navy Maritime Air Arm, in coordination with the strike component of Pakistan Air Force